Hi, I'm Frank, and my grandson Aaron's over here helping me. Aaron is an amazing guy, and like all grandchildren, he's a nerd, and I'm not. Anyway, I want to start doing these short blogs, as well as for the book, for the new political party, the Millennial Reign of Christ. And I'd like to just spend a couple of minutes talking about when you step into the political arena, it's a whole different world. And who do you trust? Who did Jesus trust when he was here? And that's the basis of our new political party is the Constitution, whatever Jesus says, and the third pillar of it is that it has to be new covenant, not the old covenant, not a mixture of the old and new, but of the new covenant based on grace, mercy, forgiveness, love, life, and inclusion rather than separating. And when it comes to trusting, we first of all have to ask, who did Jesus trust? Well, in John chapter 2 at the end, it says, while he was in Jerusalem at the Passover feast, many people saw the miraculous signs he was doing and believed in his name. But Jesus would not entrust himself to them, for he knew all men. He didn't need man's testimony about man, for he knew what was in a man. And like Paul said, I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwells no good thing. So Jesus trusted nobody except his Father. And he trusted his Father completely and totally. For everybody else, it was a trust in a measure, the measure that he sensed by his Father's Spirit, or the measure that he had in them and that he had walked with them for a while. So we get into this, who should we trust? The Republicans say one thing, Democrats say another thing. Who's lying, who's telling the truth? And to just give carte blanche trust, don't give it to anybody. And that's part of our party, is that we trust Jesus and what he says, and why it's so important to hear his voice and to follow what he says. The political arena or the political realm is like a cesspool. I felt that 10, 15 years ago when, it's longer than that, 20 years, some years ago when I ran for Congress that time. I said it's kind of like getting baptized in a septic tank. And, our president calls it a swamp. Anyway, we're about to step into that. And I have to say offhand, I don't trust anybody completely. And that includes myself. I can get into places where the temptation would be just too great. And I trust God and I trust Jesus, and I'm learning not to put my trust in myself or in other people. In our political party, the Millennial Reign of Christ, there are three pillars. One is the Constitution, which is what our whole government system is based on. Two is Jesus, my sheep hear my voice. And three is it has to be new covenant, not old covenant, not a mixture of old and new, but the new covenant completely, where we trust Jesus, listen to him, and do what he says. If you're interested in getting involved in this, contact me. I guess send an email, or that's probably the best, whatever you're seeing this on, that you could do that. Anyway, God bless you. And I hope God does stir in you and tell you, yeah, hey, get in there and help that poor old crazy bald-headed guy, because he's always in over his head. I love you. God bless you. Thank you.